Okay, so now for the third guy. This is Zophar. He's going to be acting more like a prosecuting attorney. He's going to go straight after the iniquity he thinks must be in Job. Then Zophar the Naamathite replied, "Are all these words to go unanswered? Is this talker to be vindicated? Will your idle talk reduce men to silence?" So he's saying, all of the bluster and bravado that you're shouting off, are you going to silence us from calling you out for sin? Will no one rebuke you when you mock? You say to God, "My beliefs are flawless, and I am pure in your sight." Oh, how I wish that God would speak, that he would open his lips against you, and disclose to you the secrets of wisdom. For true wisdom has two sides. Know this, God has even forgotten some of your sin. So your sin is so great, you're not even being judged for all of it. That's how sinful you are, Job. Can you fathom the mysteries of God? Can you probe the limits of the Almighty? They are higher than the heavens. What can you do? They are deeper than the depths of the grave. What can you know? So they're higher than the highest thing we can imagine, way up there, out in the sky, beyond the sky. And they're lower than the lowest thing we can imagine, way down there in the underworld, beneath the earth, where the dead live. What can you know? Their measure is longer than the earth and wider than the sea. So higher than the heavens, deeper than the underworld, longer than the earth, and wider than the sea. There is no limit to God's mightiness. If he comes along and confines you in prison, and convenes a court, who can oppose him? Surely he recognizes deceitful men. And when he sees evil, does he not take note? But a witless man can no more become wise than a wild donkey's colt can be born a man. Or a wild donkey can be born tame. Yet, if you devote your heart to him and stretch out your hands to him, if you put away the sin that is in your heart, and allow no evil to dwell in your tent, your dwelling place, then you will lift it. Now, I don't know if Job even has a dwelling place at this point. We didn't say that he lost his house. He might still have a house somewhere. He lost his servants. His children lost their lives. The oldest son's house collapsed on them. Lost his cattle, his possessions. He may still have a house. However, again, my guess is that because of his skin affliction, he is an outcast and is not currently living in his house. That's my guess, at least. But he may still have one. His wife may be there. Who knows? Or tent could be your body. You know, tent is a metaphor for dwelling place, and sometimes that speaks to a body. It could be no a lot of evil to dwell in your body, your dwelling place, your tent. At any rate, the tent is referring to wherever Job lives. So don't allow any evil to dwell where you dwell. Then you will lift up your face without shame. You will stand firm and without fear. You will surely forget your trouble, recalling it only as waters gone by. Life will be brighter than noonday, and darkness will become like morning. You will be secure because there is hope, and you will look about you and take your rest in safety. You will lie down with no one to make you afraid, and many will court your favor. The eyes of the wicked will fail, and escape will elude them. Their hope will become a dying gasp. Then Job replied, "Doubtless you are the people, and wisdom will die with you. But I have a mind as well as you. I am not inferior to you. Who does not know all these things?" So Job is saying that everything these guys are saying is stuff that everybody knows. They're acting like they're appealing to some deep reservoir of ancient wisdom, but everybody knows this stuff. They're not saying anything that Job hasn't thought of or that anybody else out there isn't going to say. I become a laughingstock to my friends. Though I called upon God and he answered, a mere laughingstock, though I'm righteous and blameless. Men at ease have contempt for misfortune, as the fate of those whose feet are slipping. The tents of marauders are undisturbed. Marauders, of course, are raiders, bad guys. And those who provoke God are secure. Those who carry their God in their hands. I'm assuming he's referring to an idol there. I'm not really sure. But ask the animals, and they will teach you. Or the birds of the air, and they will tell you. Speak to the earth, and it will teach you. Or let the fish of the sea inform you. Which of all these does not know the hand of the Lord has done this? In his hand is the life of every creature, and the breath of all mankind. Does not the ear taste words, as the tongue tastes food? Is not wisdom found among the aged? Does not long life bring understanding? To God belong wisdom and power. Counsel and understanding are his. What he tears down cannot be rebuilt. The man he imprisons cannot be released. If he holds back the waters, there is drought. If he lets them loose, they devastate the land. To him belong strength and victory. Both deceived and deceiver are his. He leads counselors away stripped and makes fools of judges. He takes off the shackles put on by kings and ties a loincloth around their waists, or ties a belt around their waists. He leads priests away stripped and overthrows men long established. He silences the lips of trusted advisors and takes away the discernment of elders. He pours contempt on nobles and disarms the mighty. He reveals the deep things of darkness and brings deep shadows into the light. He makes nations great and destroys them. He enlarges nations and he disperses them. He deprives the leaders of the earth of their reason. Oh boy, have we seen that today. Have we seen the leaders of the earth being deprived of reason today? Oh yes, we have. He sends them wandering through a trackless waste. They grope in darkness with no light. He makes them stagger like drunkards. My eyes have seen all this. My ears have heard and understood it. What you know, I also know. I am not inferior to you. But I desire to speak to the Almighty and to argue my case with God. You, however, smear me with lies. You are worthless physicians, all of you, so they're quacks. They're quack doctors, in other words. If only you would be altogether silent. They were doing best when they weren't saying anything. They were at their best back in the early chapters before they said anything. They should have stayed silent. For you, that would be wisdom. Hear now my argument. Listen to the plea of my lips. Will you speak wickedly on God's behalf? Will you speak deceitfully for him? Will you show him partiality? Will you argue the case for God? Would it turn out well if he examined you? Could you deceive him as you might deceive me, or men? He would surely rebuke you if you secretly show partiality. Would not his splendor terrify you? Would not the dread of him fall on you? Your maxims are proverbs of ashes. Your defenses are defenses of clay. So their words have no lasting value. They're just saying things that can blow away in the wind like an ash, or fall over at a push, at a nudge like clay. Keep silent and let me speak. Then let come to me, I'm assuming they're trying to speak again here, huh? Then let come to me what may. Why do I put myself in jeopardy and take my life in my hands? Though he slay me, yet will I hope in him. So guys, Job is not happy with God right now. But at the end of the day, and underneath all of that, he's still going to put his hope in him. I will surely defend my ways to his face. Indeed, this will turn out for my deliverance. For no godless man would dare come before him. So a godless man, being punished for wickedness and going through trials and tribulations, would not seek an audience with the Almighty. Job is seeking an audience with the Almighty. To him, this is supposed to be an indication that he doesn't think he has anything to hide. Listen carefully to my words. Let your ears take in what I say. Now that I have prepared my case, I know I will be vindicated. Can anyone bring charges against me? If so, I will be silent and die. Only grant me these two things, O God, and then I will not hide from you. Withdraw your hand from me, and stop frightening me with your terrors. Then summon me, and I will answer. Or let me speak, and you reply. How many wrongs and sins have I committed? Show me my offense and my sin. Why do you hide your face and consider me your enemy? Will you torment a wind-blown leaf? Will you chase after dry chaff? For you write down bitter things against me and make me inherit the sins of my youth. You fasten my feet in shackles. You keep close watch on all my paths by putting marks in the soles of my feet. I'm not quite sure what the marks that means. But the shackles imagery is like a king who defeats his enemies and then ties them up and brings them back to his country for punishment or smiting. We read about that a moment ago, about the idea of kings taking captives. And God can set those captives free. But if Job was God's captive, who's going to set Job free, huh? So man wastes away like something rotten, like a garment eaten by moths. I'll call him back later. It's my buddy. Man born of woman is a few days and full of trouble. He springs up like... Man born of woman is of few days and full of trouble. He springs up like a flower and withers away. Like a fleeting shadow he does not endure. Do you fix your eye on such a one? Will you bring him before you for judgment? Who can bring what is pure from the impure? No one. Man's days are determined. You have decreed the number of his months, and have set limits on him that he cannot exceed. So look away from him, and let him alone, or leave him alone, till he has put in his time like a hired man. At least there is hope for a tree. If it is cut down, it will sprout again, and its new shoots will not fail. Its roots may grow old in the ground, and its stump die in the soil, yet at the scent of water it will bud, and put forth shoots like a plant. But man dies, and is laid low. He breathes his last, and is no more. As water disappears from the sea, or as a riverbed becomes parched and dry, so man lies down and does not rise. Till the heavens are no more, men will not awake, or be roused from their sleep. So here he seems to be expressing the thought that death is final. No coming back from it. If only you would hide me in the grave, and conceal me till your anger has passed. If only you would set me a time, and then remember me. If a man dies, will he live again? All the days of my hard service, I will wait for my renewal or release to come. You will call, and I will answer you. You will long for the creature your hands have made. So God put all this time and attention into making this guy. Even after he's dead and gone, God is not going to forget him. Surely then you will count my steps, but not keep track of my sin. My offenses will be sealed up in a bag. You will cover over my sin. So Job is hoping for a redeemer here. Someone to take away. He doesn't have one. He doesn't even know about one. But he's hoping. He's expressing a wish, a hope for one. This will be fulfilled someday, but he has no knowledge of that now. But as a mountain erodes and crumbles, and as a rock is moved from its place, as water wears away stones, and torrents wash away soil, so you destroy man's hope. So God just overpowers us all. None of us in the end can hope to overpower God. He's going to wash us all away in the end. You overpower him once for all, and he is gone. You change his countenance and send him away. If his sons are honored, he does not know it. If they are brought low, he does not see it. He feels but the pain of his own body, and mourns only for himself. That is the first series of speeches. Job spoke. Well, Job spoke in chapter 3 to give the opening lament. Then Eliphaz spoke. Then Job responded to Eliphaz. Then Bildad spoke. Then Job responded to Bildad. Then Zophar spoke. Then Job responded to Zophar. That was the first cycle of speeches. Next, Eliphaz is going to talk again, and then we repeat the cycle. And one thing you're going to notice is that the other characters' speeches will get shorter and shorter. In fact, Zophar, the third guy, doesn't even get a third speech. There's 3 cycles of speeches here. And the third guy, Zophar, doesn't even speak for the third time. But Eliphaz and Bildad and Zophar, each time they speak, their speeches are going to get shorter and shorter. And Job's are going to get longer and longer. Until after the series of 3 speeches concludes, Job is going to go on talking about himself after that for a while. So that's the pattern of the book. So we're done with the first set of speeches. And now we've got to go through 2 more.